All right, I would like to begin. So, welcome to Tech Talks, presented by Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey. Computers are critical for communication and are the centerpiece of information and technology. The early 1990s saw the emergence of household internet use, which eventually spurred common use of email, websites, blogs, social networking, and much more. An accessible computer can be one of your most valuable tools. Consider just a few of the tasks you'll be able to accomplish using a personal computer. Emailing friends and family, keeping up with current events, and as we've learned from past episodes of Tech Talks, online shopping and book reading apps. Tonight, we will explore the Windows 10 accessibility features. Some of the features we will touch upon tonight will be Narrator. Narrator is an accessibility feature that reads your computer screen aloud. You can turn Narrator on or off by opening the Settings app and going to the Easy Access section, and many other ways. If magnification is for you, a screen magnifier is a software application that increases the size of text and graphics on your computer screen. A screen magnifier is like having a magnifying glass hovering over your screen, enlarging everything around your cursor for easy reading. We will also learn about color filters and high contrast, learn how to make objects on the screen easier to see by setting up and using a high contrast scheme. You'll learn about the Disability Answer Desk. And this is where customers with disabilities can go to get the Microsoft Office, Windows, and Xbox accessibility support. This includes product issues, accessibility issues, and use of assistive technology. Tonight's presentation will be hosted by Mr. Rick Fox, who will be supported by our very own Christina Brino.
Hi, everybody.
Suzanne Seitzma.
Hi, guys.
And at this time, I would like to introduce you to our presenter for the evening, Mr. Rick Fox.
Hello, everybody. This is Rick Fox.
Rick,
Lynn, you want me to talk more, or are you going to read a bio?
I'll read your bio. Would you mind if I read your bio? I would love to read your bio.
I thought that's what you were going to do.
Okay. Rick was born and raised in Ocean, New Jersey, earned his degree from Brown University. He spent 23 years at IBM with position in sales, programming and help desk support. He then moved to DeWitt and Associates, a company that taught technology skills to people with disabilities. Rick served as the New Jersey statewide training coordinator for the National Deafblind Equipment Distribution Program, ICANN Connect. He served as a senior instructor at the Computer Center for Visually Impaired People at Baruch College in New York City. Today, Rick is the owner and operator of his own consulting firm called B&F Teaching and Technology. So before Rick starts, I'll go over our Tech Talk format for this evening. So Rick will introduce each topic, breaking down the information into categories. So at the end of each segment, he will let you know that you can ask questions. We hope that you use the raise your hand feature. So if you are, for those of you on the phones, raise your hand feature is *9, that will raise and lower your hand. *6 will mute and unmute you, giving you the opportunity to ask your question. And if you're on a computer, Alt-Y, raise and lower your hand. Using the Zoom app or the iPhone, tap, select the More option at the top of the screen and flick down to raise hand. And the iPad, this feature is located on the bottom of the screen. So I do ask that you keep yourselves muted when Rick is presenting. So at this time, I turn tonight's program over to Mr. Rick Fox.
Hi, everybody. I know some of you, and some of you I am just meeting for the first time, so it's a pleasure we're going to talk about, well, I'm going to get to the agenda, but before I do, I'm going to share the screen so that people with vision will be able to see, and people without vision can hear what I'm doing.
Select the window or application that you want to share. Basic tab check selected. Screen, share your entire screen. Share computer sound checkbox not checked. Space checked. Optimize screen sharing for video clip. Share screen button. Enter. You have started screen share. Zoom meeting. Mute current.
Muted. Alt plus A button. Meeting controls.
So, Linda, is the screen now being shared?
Yes, you're on your desktop.
Good. I'm going to get rid of JAWS, but the first thing I want to do is I've got my phone and I want to bring up my notes. So hold on just a minute. Okay, I think we've got it. Wait, hold on. All right, let's see if I have a Braille display here, and we'll see if it works.
Blank.
Okay, it's not working. So I think JAWS is,
Meeting controls.
I have to get rid of JAWS. So I'm going to get rid of JAWS and turn on Narrator now.
Mouse mode on. Narrator heading level 1.
So the way that I turn the Narrator on is Windows Control Enter. That's a toggle key, and I'm using Narrator today because since I'm totally blind, all of the settings that we're going to deal with, if I didn't have Narrator, I wouldn't be able to hear them. So even though I won't be able to see all the color changes we're doing, I'll be able to hear what's going on in settings. So the agenda that we're going to do here is we're going to use the ease of access settings. We're going to explore them. And the first thing I'm going to do is sticky keys, which people have requested. Then we're going to do some of the visual aspects, including magnifier, cursor and pointer settings, color filters, themes, and high contrast. And then we're going to do narrator. So let's get started. I'm going to do Windows U. That brings up the ease of access settings. And we need to maximize all the windows. So if I forget to do that, somebody can remind me.
Okay.
I'm going to do Windows U.
U. Settings window. Search box. Find a set.
And I'm going to maximize that in case it is not maximized. I'm going to do Alt space.
Space. System. Restore. Move. Maximize. Maximize. Item is disabled.
So it's already maximized.
I'm having a hard time seeing, Rick. There's black on the screen.
So tell me the problem, Linda.
I'm not, we'll continue and maybe it will fix itself.
The screen is black right now.
Settings window. Vision. Display. Selected.
So you're telling me that there's nothing showing up on the screen?
Correct.
There is on yours. I see stuff on yours.
All right.
There's
So
a little bit of, there's a shading. So I'm wondering if it's too magnified. Maybe you want to.
I'm gonna turn off the color filter because on my screen things are showing up.
Okay.
Cursor and magnifier. Color filters. High contrast.
The high contrast.
High contrast. Use high contrast. Turn on high contrast. Space. Turn on high contrast. Toggle switch. Off.
So I just turned high contrast off.
It's still black.
Oh boy.
Do you need high contrast?
Yeah, I just turned high contrast off.
It was on. It went from your
Vision.
desktop to the
High
black.
contrast. Desktop list. Zoom. Shortcut.
Now I'm on my desktop.
See, it's not
Still-
showing your desktop here.
It's all black.
Yeah. There's something with the sharing.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go back and disable my sharing.
Settings. Meeting controls. Meeting control. Zoom meeting window.
Okay.
Meeting tools. Mute. Currently.
All right, I'm going to start sharing again, see what happens. Of course, I'm going to tell everybody here that we did a dry run. Everything was just fine.
Yes, of course.
Select a window or an
The way it
application
happens.
you want to share. Basic tab item. Sharing list box. Click arrow key to navigate the list. With default valued selected. Screen. Screen. Share your entire screen. Selected.
So share my entire screen is selected.
Share computer sound checkbox checked.
Share computer sound is selected.
Optimize screen sharing for video clip checkbox unchecked. Share screen button. Meeting
Now I'm gonna
controls.
just you're sharing the screen.
Okay, it's
Now,
still
I
black.
just shared the screen. And are we still black here?
We are still black with a little pointer.
Settings. Settings window. Vision. High contrast. Selected. Color filters.
Let's see about this. I don't really know where to start. Where to go.
Magnifier. Cursor and pointer. Display.
See the desktop on ours.
Cursor and pointer.
So our screen is showing up here just fine.
Yeah, that's very
Magnifier.
strange.
Pardon me?
Well, that is, anything that happens is going to always happen during Tech Talks. So,
Yes.
So it is black, but you can just say what you need to say, Rick, and we'll listen.
yeah, I would just continue with the presentation minus the sharing, unfortunately. And if there's anything,
So since I'm going to do that, I might as well unshare my screen so you can see my face.
yeah.
No, but you know what? If you still share it, maybe when you start doing different settings and stuff, maybe it'll come up
Right.
Color filters. Display.
when you
Okay.
start playing around with it.
All right. I'm going to start with sticky keys, and that has nothing to do with anything that is visual. So what sticky keys does is allow you to use certain modifier keys, which is the Windows, Control, Shift, and I believe Alt, although it'll tell us when it comes up. And so sometimes when you use Control P for print, you have to hold the Control and the P key down at the same time. But with sticky keys on, you don't have to. You can hit Control, lift it up, and then hit P. Or say Windows M for the desktop. You can hit Windows key and take your hand off the Windows key and hit M, and it will work. And this is for people who may have trouble doing this sort of thing with their hands for whatever reason. So the way that you, the shortcut key, well, I'll show you in settings where this is, and then I'll show you the shortcut key.
Use high contrast. Vision. Display.
So I'm in Vision, and I'm going to go down. Let's see if the H key works.
Scan. Hearing. Heading level 2.
So I just put scan on in Narrator, which is caps lock space or narrator space. And then I hit the H key and it went to hearing. So I'm going to hit H again.
Interaction. Heading level 2.
So that's interaction. I'm going to down arrow.
Speech. Keyboard.
So I think I'm going to hit enter on keyboard.
Keyboard. Heading level 1. Keyboard. 2 of 4 level 2. Selected.
Now I'm going to tab.
Use your device without a physical keyboard. Use the on-screen keyboard. Use sticky keys. Press 1 key.
So I just tabbed again. So the first one was, I'm going to shift tab.
Use your device without a physical keyboard. Use the on-screen keyboard. Toggle switch. Off.
So I have my on-screen keyboard off. but I'm going to tab again.
Use sticky keys. Press one key at a time for keyboard shortcuts. Toggle switch off.
And I'm going to hit space to turn it on.
Press one key at a time for keyboard shortcuts. Toggle switch on.
So this allows me to use the keyboard shortcut.
Allow the shortcut key to start sticky keys checkbox checked.
So I'll tell you what the shortcut key is. You have to hit the shift key 5 times. And that turns it off. And it turns it on. And then to turn it off, you have to use 2 keys together, such as control and shift. And that will turn it off. It doesn't say anything when that turns it off.
Show the sticky keys icon on the taskbar checkbox checked.
I just tabbed.
Lock the modifier key when pressed twice in a row checkbox checked.
Lock the modifier key when pressed twice in a row. And so that means that if you lock it, then I suspect what that means is that you don't have to press it again after you lock it.
Turn off sticky keys when 2 keys are pressed at the same time checkbox checked.
So that's how to turn it off.
Play a sound when a modifier key is pressed and release checkbox checked.
And that's very helpful. And I'll show you what that means.
Use toggle keys. Play a sound whenever you press caps lock, number lock, or scroll lock. Toggle switch off.
So that's off. I'm not going to worry about that now.
Allow the shortcut key to start toggle keys checkbox checked. Use filter keys. Ignore brief or repeated keystrokes and change keyboard repeat rates. Toggle switch off.
So I'm going to just do a simple demonstration of sticky keys. I'm going to do Windows M to get to the desktop.
M. Desktop list. Zoom.
So you heard a sound. And that, I'm going to do Windows, Windows B as in boy to get to the system tray. And I'm going to hit Windows and then release it and hit the B key.
B. Start window. Cortana. Search box. Edit. B. Desktop list. BNF signed contract page 5. Team viewer. Selected.
Now I'm going to use, I'm not sure that's working correctly, so I just turned it off. I'm going to turn it on with the shortcut key, which is shift 5 times.
Sticky keys window. Yes. Button. Alt plus
This is
Y.
what I like to use. And I'm going to read the window, which is in Narrator to read a full window. It's Narrator key W or caps lock W.
Sticky keys. Do you want to turn on sticky keys? Sticky keys lets you use the Shift, Control, Alt, or Windows logo keys by pressing one key at a time. The keyboard shortcut to turn on sticky keys is to press the Shift key 5 times. Disable this keyboard shortcut in ease of access keyboard settings. Yes, yes, no, no.
So
Title bar. Restore.
what happened to this dialogue here?
System. Menu item. UI thread. Settings.
So somehow I got out of this. So I'm going to do it again here.
Sticky keys window. Yes.
So it's on yes. So I'm going to press space.
Taskbar.
So now I'm going to do Windows, let it go, and then hit M for the desktop.
And desktop list.
There you
Team
go.
viewer.
And I'm going to hit Windows B to get to the system tray.
B. B space. Taskbar
There
pane.
it goes.
User promoted notification.
So when I hit Control, it made a beep as if I can now move. I could have hit P for print or whatever.
Carbonite
I'm
updated
still
about
my
9
system
hours
tray.
ago.
Just wanted to
Button.
show you, I'm left and right arrowing.
Sticky keys. Button. Action center. System clock. 7:21 p.m. August 26th,
So
2020.
this is what's in my system tray. And whenever I hit a modifier key, it beeps at me to show me, to tell me I can hit some other key because it's sticky. So if I hit Windows R, it will take me to the run dialog.
R.
It doesn't say anything.
R. Run dialog. Open. Combo edit. Notepad.
So that's the run
Collapsed.
dialog.
Alt plus O. Desktop list.
And now I'm going to hit Windows T for the taskbar.
T.
It didn't do anything. I'm going to do it again.
Taskbar pane. Running applications. Google Chrome.
So
Button.
the high-pitched sound tells me it's ready to accept another key.
Document 1. Vision and Mission Vision Loss
I'm right
Alliance of
arrowing.
New Jersey and 8.
So that was control. So now I heard that high-pitched sound. I want to get to the desktop.
Setting. Use magnifier. Turn on magnifier. Toggle switch. Off.
That brought me to setting. I did Windows M and it got me to setting. And I know why. Because I had hit Control key before to shut up narrator and it stuck. So when I hit Control Windows M, it took me to the magnifier settings. So you have to be careful when sticky keys are on. I'm going to hit Alt F4 and to get out of settings.
Not a narrator command.
I just hit Caps Lock T. So now I'm going to go to the desktop with Windows key M, and I'll use it as I'm going to hit Windows key and take my hand off the Windows key and hit M.
M. Use magnifier. Turn on magnifier. Toggle switch. Off.
This is why I don't use sticky keys. I think the Control key is stuck. There it goes. So the low pitch sound tells me it got unstuck.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to do Alt F4 to get rid of the magnifier setting.
Taskbar. Scan
Yeah.
off.
Makes a weird sound when you get out of it.
So now I'm going to try to go to the desktop.
Start window. M.
So I'm wondering here. I think sticky keys went off. So I'm going to turn it back on.
Sticky keys window. Start window. Cortana. Search box. Edit. Type here to search.
Shift keys. So whenever I hit the Control key to shut up narrator, it sticks. And then I have to hit Control again to stop it from sticking. So now I'm going to try to do Windows key and I'll let it go and hit M.
M. Desktop list. BNF signed contract page 5.
So that worked. I did Windows, I let it go, and it hit M. So you have to play around with it. But now I'm going to turn it off by hitting Control and then Shift. Any of those two keys, Control and then Alt. I'll try that. There it goes. You heard that ending sound?
Yeah.
That meant sticky keys are off.
Rick, do you think it would work better with JAWS with the sticky keys and it's a narrator glitch?
I don't think so. I think I think that the sounds, and that would be easy to do now. So I'm going to get rid of narrator and turn on JAWS.
Exiting narrator.
And now I'll turn on JAWS. Waiting a little bit. Control Alt J. So when
Rick,
this happens to me,
Rick, do you have a minute for a question?
yes, of course.
Okay, David?
Hi, David.
David, you can unmute yourself, please.
I just finally did that too, Linda.
David,
I hear you now, David.
I have a suggestion. Why don't you use the Windows key R command to start JAWS?
That's an excellent way to do it.
If
So-
if it's in your system tray.
If you can do Windows R and then do JAWS 2020 and hit enter. So
Yeah.
let's try that. JAWS 2020, enter. I have a
thank you.
short that usually works.
JAWS Professional meeting controls. Meeting controls.
There it goes.
For
So
those,
now let's try sticky keys and see if it works. I think the sticky keys was working as mentioned, but you once sticky keys are on, then when you hit a key, it sticks, and sometimes you don't want it to stick. So I'm going to shift 5 times,
Sticky keys. Yes button. Alt plus Y.
and I'm going to hit space,
Space. Meeting controls.
and now I'm going to do Windows M, but I'm going to release the Windows key.
Windows M. Desktop. Folder view list view. BFF sign contract.
That was better.
So that worked pretty good. What if I hit Windows and start Word?
Fast forward. 15 sec messages. Messages. Now. Linda Grossu. That's okay.
So I just hit Windows, and it usually, without sticky keys,
7:01 p.m.
so I had to hit Windows 3 times in order to get
Done.
to my search, because sticky keys thought I was going to use Windows and some other key. So that's why I don't like particularly sticky keys, but I don't need it. So
Word app. Press right to switch preview. Word app. Press right to switch preview.
ORD, and I'm hitting enter.
Document 2 word. Edit.
And I'm going to type hello.
Hello. Enter. Hello.
Hello.
Enter.
Enter 3 times. I got 3 lines.
Hello.
And now I'm going to do Control Home.
Hello. 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 Hello.
So it's working this time. Now I'm going to do Windows B.
E. Search box edit. D. Computer braille. Backup and sync from Google app. Press right to switch preview.
There it goes.
I think sticky keys somehow I turned it off.
D. See web results. Press right to switch preview. Rick Fox style for Taste of Technology. Docs. Microsoft Word document. Press right to switch preview.
So that's my problem with sticky keys, is that somehow when I was using whatever keyboard commands I was using, I turned it off. And what you can do is disable shortcuts, and that probably will fix the problem. So if I go back into settings.
Document 2 word. Meeting controls. Zoom. Document 1 word. Vision emission vertical. Document 2 word.
And settings
Document
is
2
gone.
word.
I'm going to
Document
go
2.
back into settings with Windows U.
Windows U. Microsoft Word document. Microsoft Word document. Settings.
So I'm in JAWS now.
Display. Make text bigger. Drag the slider until the sample text is easy to read. Then line left right side 100%. Make
Whatever
everything.
you did just made it come up.
we have a document.
Okay.
Make text bigger. Drag the slider until ease of access list box. Vision selected. Display 1 of 6.
So what I have now on my screen is the Ease of Access Center. Is that what's
We
on the?
We have a blank document, and I think, okay, so
Document
we
2
have
word.
the display,
Edit.
that display pop-up. That was in the back, and now I could see your Word document.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to settings.
Task switching. Settings.
Oh,
Ease of access list box. Vision selected. Display 1
Now
of 6.
it's
What's happening, Linda?
It's working now.
Oh, okay. I don't know what I did. I didn't do anything really.
It's just
Wow.
magic. times.
The gods were with you.
Page, cursor and pointer.
So I'm going to go to sticky keys and show you how to disable the shortcuts, because that may be helpful. But then you can't do shift 5 times.
Color filters, high contrast, narrator, hearing audio, closed cap, interaction, keyboard, mouse. Keyboard. Enter keyboard. Keyboard. Use your device without a physical keyboard. Use sticky keys. Press one key at a time for keyboard shortcuts button off.
I'm going to have to slow JAWS down here.
Please.
I'm terribly sorry.
Slower, slower,
okay.
slower, slower, slower.
Okay.
Use sticky keys. Press one key at a time for keyboard shortcuts button off.
So it's off.
Open. Use 3D touch to show home screen actions.
Allow the shortcut key to start sticky keys. Checkbox checked. Space. Not checked.
So I just disabled the shortcut.
Show the sticky keys icon on the lock the modifier. Turn off sticky keys when 2 keys are pressed at the same time. Checkbox checked. Space. Not checked.
So that I'm going to uncheck. Because that may help, because I kept turning it off by mistake.
Lock the modifier key when pressed. Show the sticky keys icon on the taskbar. Checkbox. Allow the shortcut key to start sticky keys. Checkbox not checked. Space. Checked.
So I've still got the shortcut, but I've turned off using the 2 keys to turn it off. And that may help the situation, but then, and so I'm now going to do Windows M to get to the desktop, and I'm going to release the windows.
Windows M, desktop, folder view, list view, B and F signed contract, page 5 checked, 20 of 43.
And I'm going to do Control Home. I'm going to do Home.
Home, recycle bin checked, 1 of
Now I'm on
43.
my desktop, and now I'm going to do Windows B to get to the system tray.
Windows B, sticky keys button, fusion. Action center
go.
button.
So that seems to be working. And so what I've done is uncheck to turn it off with a shortcut. So if I need to turn it off, I'm going to have to go back to settings and turn it off. And that seems to work better for me because I'm not turning it off by mistake. Now I'm going to do Alt-Tab.
Settings. Document 2-Word. Document 2-Word, edit.
I could have done Alt-Tab.
Settings, keyboard, use sticky keys. Allow the shortcut key to start sticky.
Now I just did Control, and that beeped at me. And that, I think, was giving me a problem before. I'm going to do Windows M to get to the desktop.
Control Windows M, magnifier, use magnifier, turn on magnifier button off.
So that's what's happening. Once I hit Control, it sticks. And I was using Control to stop the speech. So this is giving me a problem. So I'm going to get rid of this.
Alt F4, document 2-Word, edit.
Now I'm going to hit Control again. And I'm going to hit Control again. So that's the problem, because we use Control to stop speech. And so Control is one of the sticky keys. So when you hit Control, it sticks. And so that's one reason why it may be difficult for people using screen readers to use sticky keys. Because once you hit Control, it sticks. And then if you use Alt-Tab, it thinks you're doing Control-Alt-Tab.
Meeting controls.
So that worked. Let's do Alt-Tab again.
Document 2-Word, edit. Meeting controls, meeting controls. Mute, currently unmuted, Alt+A. Document 2-Word, edit.
That's sticky keys. And again, I just hit Control, because I automatically do that when I want to stop the speech. And now it appears that if I do Alt-Tab, let's see what happens.
Meeting controls.
Good. So I'm going to get back to settings, and I'm going to turn off sticky keys because it's driving me crazy.
Document 1-Vision and Mission vertical. Document 2 meeting control zoom. Document 1-Word.
And settings has gone away, so I'm going to do a Windows U to get it back.
Windows U settings.
And
Search box. Find the setting.
I
Edit.
just
Computer
used
braille.
sticky keys that way. I hit Windows and got rid of it and let go of it, and then I hit U. So I'm going to tab.
Ease of access list box. Vision selected.
And I go,
Display 1 of
go down
6.
to hearing and keyboard.
Cursor, color, height, narrate, hearing, closed captions, interaction, audio, closed captions, audio, vision, narrator, 6 of 6. Hearing, audio, 1 of 2. Closed captions, interaction, speech, 1 of 4. Keyboard, speech, keyboard, enter, keyboard.
So I was just down arrowing until I got the keyboard, and then I hit enter.
Keyboard, use your device, use sticky keys, press 1 key at a time for keyboard shortcuts, button on.
And I was tabbing. So I'm going to hit space.
Space, off.
So that's sticky keys, everybody. Anybody have any questions?
Not really.
Okay,
Does
good.
anyone have any questions on sticky keys?
I don't like it, but then I don't need it. So for those of you who may have trouble with, 2 or 3 keystrokes at the same time, sticky keys might be helpful. But
Rick,
yes.
as far as narrator is concerned, is it easier than it used to be to use without the sticky keys?
Yes. I'm going to show you narrator. We just spent a lot of time on sticky keys, so that may cut in. So we may have to do a Tech Talk presentation on narrator. I think that narrator is 90% there to being a good screen reader.
Before we continue on to narrator, can I just ask everyone to please mute themselves?
We're going to actually do some of the visual setting now, if there are no questions. So I'm going to get rid of JAWS, and because narrator reads the settings, the ease of access settings window better than JAWS. Some of these Windows screens, narrator reads better than JAWS. So I'm going to get rid of JAWS with JAWS key F4. And it doesn't say anything because I have my JAWS set up so that it just goes away. It doesn't ask me if I want it to go away. So now I'm going to go back to narrator with Windows Control, which is a toggle that turns narrator on and off.
Mouse mode on. Narrator heading level 1. Welcome to narrator.
So we've got narrator, and I think it's at a good speed. And I'm going to Alt Tab. I hope my sticky keys are off. I think we turned it off. So I'm going to Alt Tab.
Settings. Settings window. Use sticky keys. Press 1 key at a.
So I'm going to Shift Tab back to the settings categories.
Use your device with interaction. Keyboard. Selected.
Now.
Scan off. Scan.
I just
Calendar.
toggled scan off. It was really on.
App switcher.
I'm going
Notes.
to
Voice
Shift
memo.
H
Active. Voice
because
memo. Record.
scan
Button.
is like the internet mode in JAWS where you can use your keyboard for quick navigation. And I know I want to get back to the visual, so I'm going to do Shift H.
Interaction. Heading level. Hearing. Heading level. Vision. Heading level 2.
So here we are back at vision. And I'm going to turn scan off now
Scan off.
with a narrator key space. And my narrator key is caps lock.
Interaction. Keyboard. Selected. Speech.
So it went back to interaction. So I'm going to just up arrow.
Cursor and color. High contrast. Display. Home. Vision. Display.
So now I'm back at vision display. And what I want to do first is magnifier. So I'm going to down arrow.
Cursor and pointer. Magnifier.
And when you want to select a category, you hit enter.
Magnifier. Heading level 1. Magnifier. 3 of 6 level 2. Selected.
So narrator tells me that it's selected. Now the settings it's a dialogue. So you basically tab through to each item. And if you tab all the way through, It's like a circle, and you'll get back where you started from. And that is the characteristics of any dialogue in Windows. So let's tab through this.
Use magnifier. Turn on magnifier. Toggle switch. Off.
Let's turn it on with the space bar.
Space. Turn meeting controls window. Mute. Currently unmuted. Alt plus.
It went away from the settings window for whatever reason.
Pane.
lost you.
Settings. Settings window. Use magnifier. Turn
There
on
you go.
magnifier. Toggle switch. On.
So I just alt tabbed. You still have a screen, guys?
Yes, and it
Yeah.
also, now it's white on black.
Well, we're going to work through that. So I'm going to
Okay.
tab.
Link. Make zoom out. Button.
So this is zoom out, which means it'll make it bigger. And if I space,
Space. 425%.
and so that's pretty big. So I have the magnification increment at 25%. So if I want to make it smaller, I'll make it bigger.
Space. 400%. Space. 375%.
We're zooming out now. We're making it smaller.
Space. 325. Space. 300%. Zoom in. Button.
So zoom in means it makes it bigger. I'm sorry, I was wrong before. So if I shift tab,
Zoom out. Button.
that's zoom out. That makes it smaller. If I tab,
Zoom in. Button.
zoom in makes it larger. So I'll hit space until I get to 400%.
Space. 325%.
So I'll hit it 3 times.
Space. 400%.
So now I'm at 4x. By the way, if we're using JAWS, I don't think JAWS tells you the percentages. So I'm going to tab.
Change zoom increments. Combo box. 25%.
And if you want to change
Collapsed.
it, the combo box, the sighted people usually call it a drop-down list. And in Narrator, you hit enter to expand it, and then you use your arrow keys. And then when you've chosen something, you hit enter to close it again. So let's hit enter.
25%. Selected. 50%.
I just down arrowed to 50% and I hit enter.
Change zoom increments. Combo box. 50%. Collapsed.
Go
Collapsed.
back, I'm going to shift tab
Zoom in. Button.
and I'm going to hit space.
Space. 450%. Space. 500%.
So we now are at 50% increments, and I'll zoom out to 400%. I'm not used to using those terms.
Zoom out.
I
Button.
just shift tab to zoom out, and I'm going to space.
Space. 450%. Space. 400%.
So now I'm going to tab again,
Zoom in. Button.
tab again,
Change zoom increments. Combo box.
tab again.
50. Start magnifier after sign in checkbox unchecked.
So if I check this, then magnifier will automatically start once I put my password in. Tab,
Start magnifier before sign in for everyone checkbox unchecked.
and this is self-explanatory. If I hit the space bar, magnifier will start when my password screen comes up. Tab,
Collapse magnifier window to a floating transparent magnifying glass checkbox unchecked.
I'm not checking this because I want magnifier to be in full screen view. Tab,
Smooth edges of images and text checkbox checked.
most people are going to want that checked. Otherwise, the edges are not smoothed. Tab.
Invert colors checkbox checked.
So the colors are inverted here. But if I uncheck it with the space bar,
Space. Unchecked.
Well, now it's white, the screen's white.
Right.
so you have that choice to invert or not to invert. That is the question here. I'm going to tab.
Change magnifier view. Choose a view. Combo box. Full screen. Control plus Alt plus F.
So these all have
Collapse.
shortcut keys. We have full screen, lens, docked, And I may have forgotten one, but I'll open up the combo box with enter.
Full screen. Control plus Alt plus F. Docked. Control plus Alt plus D.
Docked, you can use the mouse and you can magnify a certain portion of the screen, leaving the rest unmagnified.
Full lens. Control plus Alt plus L.
And by the way, I'm using up and down arrow to move among these views. Lens is the magnifying glass that we spoke about before. And then you can move the magnifying glass around with your mouse. And that really is a virtual magnifier. So most people want full screen. So let me go back to full screen.
Full screen. Control plus choose a view. Combo box. Full screen. Have magnifier follow. Mouse cursor checkbox checked.
So it will follow the mouse.
Keyboard focus checkbox checked.
Keyboard.
Text insertion point checkbox checked.
The text insertion point.
Narrator cursor checkbox unchecked.
And the narrator cursor is unchecked.
Keep the mouse cursor, combo box, within the edges of the screen, collapsed.
So I'll look at that combo box for you.
Within the edges of the screen, selected,
Enter.
centered on the screen.
Centered on the screen probably has to do with people who have difficulty with their hands controlling the mouse. So you can test that out for yourself. Since I'm not a mouse user, I wasn't able to test it. So
within the edges of the screen, keep the mouse cursor, combo box, within the edges of the screen, have a question, link,
so that's
pinning magnifier to start.
That's my signal for have a question. Anybody have a question about magnifier?
Do we have any questions?
There was a question in the chat that asked if there was any other voices from narrator, and I thought there was not. Is that correct, Rick?
No, there are. Any
There
voices
are.
that are in Windows, you can change. There are voices. There are multiple voices in narrator because there are multiple Windows voices.
Good. Thank you.
And we'll get to that if we get to it today. Any other questions? That was not a magnifier question, by the way.
No, sorry.
Yeah. Yes.
It was in the chat.
Any
other
magnifier questions? Any questions in regard to the magnification? Okay, Rick, we can move on.
So that means that I was very thorough or people are sleeping. So I'll choose the former.
I say you were very thorough.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
I have one question.
Magnifier on, unless people don't want me to, and I'm going to go to cursor and pointer settings.
Link.
Sam, I believe
Get help.
Sam has a question.
So I'm sorry. I didn't hear.
I'm just being stupid here because how did you get to the ease of access? Did it turn on
Windows U.
automatically?
No, Windows U turns on the ease of access setting.
Okay, I missed that. Thank you.
So I'm going to tab back. I'm going to tab in circles until I get back to the categories.
Link. Give feedback. Home. But search box. Vision. Magnifier. Selected.
So let's move. I'm going to up arrow.
Cursor and pointer.
I'm going to up arrow. I'm going to select cursor and pointer.
Cursor and pointer. Heading level 1. Cursor and
And the way I
pointer.
selected it
2
was
of 6
different.
level 2.
So
Selected.
now I'm going to start tabbing.
Change pointer size and color. Change pointer size. Slider at 1. Current value.
So
1.
slider is at
Minimum
1,
value
and I'm
1.
going to right arrow
Maximum
to make it bigger.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
And I'll stop at 12.
Change pointer color. White. Selected.
So
Black.
I have white, black,
Inverted.
inverted,
Custom.
custom. And with custom, you have to use a mouse. So is white okay, everybody, or do you want some other color?
Since you're white, it might be good to be black at this point.
Invert black. Black. 2 of 4. Selected.
Okay, we got black.
The mouse thing.
Yeah, hold on. So,
Narrator heading level 1. Welcome to narrator.
I'm going to ask my wife, who's been sitting here. My wife's name is Debbie.
Hi,
Hi,
everybody.
Debbie. Hi, Debbie.
Narrator heading
ask
level
her to move
1.
the mouse
Well,
so you can
settings,
see the-
change pointer size. Slider, change point, make inverted. Make the cursor easier to see when typing. Change invert cursor.
At this point,
Black cursor.
I'm moving it. It's to the top right now. And I'm going to go down,
Custom.
bottom right. I'm bringing it over to the left.
Change cursor thickness.
And then
Make
going
change
up.
pointer white.
Everybody
Change
see-
pointer size.
Now there's
Change
bigger.
pointer size and color. Heading level 2.
I think everybody's muted.
So Suzanne,
Pointer.
Suzanne, you're not muted. You see it?
Change pointer size.
No, but my site's pretty bad.
Well.
Maybe you wouldn't be able to. So Linda,
Yeah.
It is tiny. It is tiny.
Cursor. Make 2. Change
Oh,
pointers.
Teddy, it's
Change.
on our
Change pointer. Cursor.
so I made
Change
the
pointer size.
12,
Slider at 12.
and
Interesting.
Change pointer. Change
said
pointer size. Slider
is
at
very big
12.
on this screen. So if it doesn't cross over with Zoom, you guys can try it for yourself.
That sounds good.
Yeah, because I'm low vision and I can see it. It's pretty big.
Change pointer size
I
and
don't know if I'm-
change pointer color.
Things
Cursor.
with Zoom or screen sharing. Or, I don't
And
So we'll stop. You can.
change pointer size. Slider at
So
12.
I'm going to keep it at 12, and I'm going to.
Change pointer size. Change pointer color. Black. Make the cursor easier to see when typing. Change cursor thickness. Slider at 1. Current value.
Going to move the slider. This is to change the cursor thickness.
2. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
So I'll make it 13. Now,
Change touch feedback.
I'm going to go to a Word file and start typing, and we'll see if you can see the cursor as any bigger.
Meeting narrator. Document 2. Document 2. Word window. Document 2. Editing. 0% vertically scrolled.
Okay, I can see the cursor.
Okay. That's good.
A. Selection deleted.
I'm going to start typing.
Cap O, comma, space, hello, am, what, space, at, my, name, is, Rick, period, Fox,
Now I'm going
space,
to move word by word.
period, Fox, Rick, is, name.
So if anybody who has the vision can see that the cursor is bigger, that's the purpose of what we just did in settings. And I'll leave it there for now and go back to settings.
Pane, settings, settings window, change touch feedback, show visual feedback around the touch points when I touch the screen,
So
toggle switch, on.
this is to make the touch easier to see. And so I'm going to touch the screen.
Make visual feedback for change touch.
I can
Make
see
the
your
cursor, change
your
cursor thickness,
fingerprint.
Yeah.
slider at current value.
So does anybody with vision notice that?
Yes, I saw the fingerprint.
Okay, so that would enhance your ability to see the touch feedback.
Change pointer color, make the change touch feedback, make visual feedback for touch point related settings.
So that's the cursor and pointer. So now we're getting there. Let me tab through. Does anybody have a question on cursor and pointer?
It looks like no one has a question, Rick.
Okay, I'm going to tab through here.
Link, home, search bar, vision, cursor and pointer, selected.
So now what I'd like to do is go to the internet, and I'm going to read something with narrator, and I'm going to ask anybody who has the vision to tell me whether they can see visually what narrator is reading as it reads. So I'm going to Alt-Tab to the internet.
Document, meeting control, narrator, Zoom. Document 1, Vision and Mission Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey and 8 more pages. Personal, Microsoft Edge.
Now,
Scan.
I'm in scan mode.
Vision and Mission Vision Loss Alliance. Skip to content.
And I'm going to hit 1 to get to the...
About US, heading level 1.
I hit number 1 and it went right to the heading level 1, which is About US. And now I'm going to read with narrator with caps lock R. And that's the read continuously command.
Heading level 1 About US. Heading level 2 Transforming Lives, one individual at a time. We empower individuals to live engaged, productive and independent lives. Heading level 3 Vision. Every individual who is blind or low vision.
So I don't know if the magnification is on, and I don't know whether the any highlighting or anything is following the words that are being read.
I couldn't see anything, but Linda, could you see anything?
No, I couldn't. It's the screen. My screen is gray now.
Yeah.
I've heard it read, me too.
Okay. So there, I have had settings on in the past where people told me that they could follow a narrator while it was reading. And when I find out what those settings are, I'll write to you, Linda, and you can send it out.
Okay, I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
So I have a question with narrator. Is there a way to get all the shortcuts in settings to use narrator?
I don't know. I don't understand the meaning of your question.
In narrator, is there a way in settings where you can get a list of all the shortcut keys to use it?
Oh, you have to go to the user guide.
And where do you find that in settings?
Yeah, well, when we get to narrator, I'll show you.
Thank you.
So it's almost 8 o'clock here. And so I have
Yes,
a quick
it is.
question. Do you want me to just keep going with the visuals? And we're going to end up cutting narrator short. Or do you want, if we go to narrator, we're going to cut visuals short. So what do you want me to do?
I want to just ask quickly of our group that's with us. I'm going to ask all of you to unmute.
Because if everybody wants narrator, that's
Okay.
what
So my question to everyone is, do we have more low vision users or do we have more, should narrator be more of a focus tonight?
Narrator.
I don't care.
All right, so Rick, I'm thinking that we should do narrator.
Okay. And if you guys want me to come back and do the rest of it, color filtering, high contrast, I can do that.
Okay. Okay, well, we thank you for
That's
that.
good.
So we'll focus on narrator, and now I'm going to ask everyone to mute themselves again.
All right, and while you do that, I'm going to turn magnification off.
Okay.
Now, there's a shortcut key that's supposed to do that called Windows Escape. Last time I did that, it turned narrator off. So we'll see what happens. So, Linda, did Magnifier go off?
Yes, it did, because now I see the website page. So I think what might be coming across is not necessarily like what's on your screen.
Right.
So it might have been too magnified. I'm also on an iPad. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn narrator off and turn it on so that we begin at the beginning.
Okay.
Exiting narrator.
So I'm going to turn narrator on with Windows Control Enter.
Mouse mode on. Narrator heading level 1. Welcome to narrator. This is narrator home, where you can get help, access your settings, and learn about new features.
So the narrator home screen is where you can pretty much go anywhere you want. And basically you can tab through it. And I'm going to tab through it and explain it.
Starting narrator dialog. OK button.
So here we go. Now that OK button,
Narrator
if you
keyboard
enter,
changes.
then you'll go right to the home.
The narrator keyboard layout so it more closely
I
matches.
don't know whose narrator we're hearing,
With other
but
screen
we're going to have to hear one at a time.
Want narrator to tell you what command.
Anybody who's using it, please turn theirs off
Turn on
for
input
now.
learning by pressing
Unmute
caps
yourself.
lock +1.
Mute yourself.
Turn it off. Press caps lock +1 twice.
Okay.
To learn more, press
Okay.
Control plus Windows logo key and to open your narrator
Who is that?
window. Cortana,
Stop.
search box, edit.
If that's not Rick, stop.
So that's a Windows. When you start narrator for the first time, you get a splash screen. If you hit enter, you can get out of it, and you'll go to the home narrator's home. Narrator's home is very helpful, and I'm going to hit tab.
Quick start button. Alt Q. Learn the basics of narrator.
Okay.
So the quick start is a self-paced tutorial that narrator will give you, and you can basically do it. Narrator will tell you everything to do to go to the next screen, what you have to do. It'll allow you to practice, and it will give you some basic narrator concepts. It's similar to the voiceover tutorial on the Mac. And I recommend it for anybody who is a beginner with narrator. I'm going to tab again.
Narrator guide button. Alt G. View the complete narrator guide online.
So that's the user guide. That's the narrator user guide, which will give you every command. You know, it's the manual for narrator. And basically you get a main screen, and you go to the table of contents on that screen and hit a link for chapter 1, and it will take you to chapter 1. And then you can go back there's a back key at the end of chapter 1. You can do alt left arrow and get back to the contents and then go to chapter 2. And you can learn everything that you need to know, and more than I probably know, about narrator. So I'm going to tab.
What's new button. Alt W. Get an overview of new and updated features.
So that's self-explanatory.
Settings button. Alt S. Customize narrator. Press Windows logo key plus Control plus N to access settings anytime.
So you can get to the settings here for narrator, or there's a shortcut key, Windows Control N as in Nancy, for narrator to get to the narrator settings. And that's similar to Windows Control M that will get you to the magnifier settings. Let's see, I'm just going to tab through this home.
Feedback button. Alt F. Show narrator home when narrator starts checkbox checked.
So I just tabbed. So if you don't want to see narrator home, and eventually when you get good enough with narrator, you don't need this. And so you can uncheck this, and then it won't come, then the home page won't come on when you turn on narrator. So I'm going to do Shift Tab and Tab.
Feedback. Show narrator home when narrator starts checkbox checked. Link. Start narrator after sign in.
So this is Start Narrator after sign in, which is similar to the setting we had in Magnifier. I'm going to tab.
Exit narrator button. Alt X.
So you could do Alt X on this, anywhere on this home page, and you can get rid of narrator. I'm going to tab again.
Minimize button. Alt M.
So that'll keep narrator on, but minimize it.
Quick Start button, Alt, Q.
Just
Learn
tapping
the
the circle.
basics of narrator.
So let's go to the settings and I'll whip through it and show you the things that you can do.
Narrator Guide, What's New, Settings, button, Alt, S. Customize narrator.
Let's hit enter here.
Settings window, use narrator, turn on narrator, toggle switch, link, view the complete guide to narrator online, scan. Startup options, heading level 2.
Startup options.
Allow the shortcut key to start narrator. Press the Windows logo key plus Control plus Enter to turn narrator on or off. Allow the shortcut key to start narrator. Start narrator after sign in for me.
So these are all the ways you can start it up.
Start narrator before sign in for everyone.
And you would hit enter on these things to activate them.
Show narrator home when narrator starts.
So this is similar to what you saw in the last page. I'm going to hit H to get to the next heading.
Personalize narrator's voice. Heading level 2.
So I'm going to down arrow.
Choose a voice.
So this is where you can choose a voice.
Microsoft David. English. United States. Add more voices.
So you can add more voices.
Change voice speed. Press the narrator key and plus, or narrator and minus, to change voice speed.
So basically I'm down arrowing, but
change voice pitch. Current value,
go back to speed.
Change voice speed.
Hit enter.
9. Current value, 9. Minimum value 0. Maximum value 20.
And if I down arrow?
Press the narrator key and plus. Change voice pitch. Change voice speed. 10. Current value, 10.
So
Minimum value 0. 11.
If I'm hitting enter, I'm moving faster and faster.
12. 11.
And now
12.
It's left and right arrow, not up and down. So in order to change increments, left goes slower.
11, 10, 9, 7.
And right goes fast.
8, 9.
So when I'm finished, I down arrow.
Press the narrator key and change voice pitch. Change voice volume.
So I'm gonna show you pitch and then
change voice pitch. 11. Current value 12, 13.
I'm right arrowing.
15, 16, 11.
Left arrowing.
10.
So I down arrow.
Change voice volume. No higher value. Press E. M. Change voice pitch. Change voice volume. No higher value. 99. Current value 100. Press the narrator key plus Control plus
and it gives you,
plus or narrator
key.
plus Control plus minus to change voice volume.
Through this, it gives me the shortcut keys. So if I up arrow,
change voice volume 99.
I don't have to hit
current
enter on
value
this.
99.
The left arrow.
Minimum value 0. Maximum 90.
So I'm going to right arrow to up arrow. To,
99. 100.
And the same applies with all these other ones.
Change voice pitch.
If I change
current value
left arrow,
10. 9.
I don't have to hit enter.
10. Press the narrator. Change voice speed.
Same with speed.
Current. Lower the volume of other apps when narrator is speaking. Change what you hear when reading and interacting. Heading level 2.
And down arrow.
Change the level of detail narrator provides about text and controls.
So this is all the stuff in settings.
Cap C. S. Change the level of detail narrator provides about text and change the level. Use narrator. Turn on narrator. Toggle switch. On. Open narrator home.
So let's see where I am here.
Startup options. Personalize narrator. Change what you hear when reading. Change what you hear when typing. Heading level 2.
Change what I hear when I'm typing.
Hear letters, numbers, and punctuation as you type. Hear words as you type.
So I can select this with enter. So if I want to hear.
Hear function keys as you type. Hear arrow. Heading level. Here letters, numbers, and punctuation as you type. Unchecked.
This does not say check box, but I hit the space bar to uncheck it.
Checked.
And I hit the space bar to check it again.
Here words as you type. Unchecked. Checked.
So that's how you do the typing. So there's one more thing I want to do in Narrator, or a couple more things. So the user guide will tell you all the different things you can do in settings. Let's see about H. I'm going to hit H.
Choose keyboard settings. Heading level 2. Select keyboard layout. Select keyboard layout.
So this is select keyboard layout.
Standard. Selected.
I hit space.
Select keyboard layout. Combo box. Standard. Collapsed. Collapsed. Standard. Selected.
So I hit enter to expand it because I don't want it to be standard.
Select keyboard layout. Standard. Legacy.
Oh, there's standard and legacy.
Close.
So standard is, they make big changes in Narrator a couple of releases of Windows ago. So what you want it, so standard is the newer
Legacy.
layout,
Standard.
which is what I chose. And legacy is the older one. If you want to continue with the older, I would recommend standard.
Legacy. Standard. Select keyboard layout. Combo box. Standard. Collapsed.
Now
Collapsed.
I'm going to hit H,
Use narrator cursor. Heading level 2.
down arrow.
The narrator cursor is where narrator is focused on your screen. Show the narrator cursor. Move my cursor with the narrator cursor as narrator reads text. Show the narrator cursor. Move my cursor. Show the narrator cursor. Sync the narrator cursor and system focus. Read and interact with the screen using the mouse.
So these are things that you can.
Have the narrator cursor. Read and mouse mode off. Unchecked.
I hit the space bar for that. What this does
Mouse mode on. Checked.
is when you move the mouse around, Narrator will read it. So I want to move out of these settings and get to some of the reading keys.
Use Braille. Heading level 2.
There is Braille, but if you use a Braille display and you use Braille with Narrator, you won't be able to use it with JAWS at the same time. So I would use a separate, if you're going to use Braille with Narrator, that's all you should be using it for. You won't be able to use it with JAWS if you use it with Narrator. You have to choose one or the other.
Sync my settings. Heading level 2.
So sync my settings is,
Use my current narrator settings for anyone who signs into my PC. After they sign in, they'll use my current narrator settings for anyone who signs into my PC. After they sign in, they'll be able to edit their settings as needed. This is recommended if you want to use a serial Braille display before sign in.
the other thing is if you got more than one user, then those settings would be applicable to more than one user. So I'm going to go to the internet page because I want to show some reading keys.
Narrator. Vision and Mission Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey and 8 more. Skip to content.
And I'm going to hit the 1 key.
About US. Heading level 1.
And down arrow until I get, now, here's something that's very basic in Narrator. You have something called Narrator Views. And once you choose a Narrator view, then caps lock left and right arrow will move by that view. So I'm going to do control caps lock and up and down arrow to show you the different views.
Form fields, items, paragraphs, sentences, lines, words.
So items is sort of like on the iPhone when you swipe to the right, item by item. So I'm going to choose item.
Lines, sentences, paragraphs, items.
Once you choose a view, then you can do caps lock right arrow and you can move by item. Caps lock left arrow will move by backwards. So I'm going to do caps lock right arrow.
Transforming lives, one individual at a time. We empower individuals to live engaged, productive and independent lives. Vision.
So I'm just caps lock right arrowing. If on the internet, of course, an item might be a paragraph, an item might be a sentence, depends on how it's designed.
Form field. Paragraphs.
I'll do paragraphs. I'm going to do caps lock right arrow.
Every individual who is blind or low vision has the opportunity to pursue his or her highest aspirations.
And that happens to be a paragraph. It may also be an item.
Heading Level 3 Mission.
So someone who's just starting Narrator can use those views and can read effectively. But there are other reading keys, and I will go through them quickly. If you do Narrator M, comma, and period, you can read the previous, current, and next character. If you do Narrator J, K, and L, you can read the previous, next, current, and next word. If you do Narrator key U, I, and O, you read the next, current, the previous, next, and current line. And if you do Control, caps lock, M, comma, and period, you can read the previous, current, and next sentence. J, K, and L with the Narrator and Control key is paragraph, and U, I, and O with the Control and caps lock key, previous, current, and next page. And so it's very logical. You just have to practice. So let's try it in the internet and see if it works. I'm going to do caps lock, comma.
Heading Level 3, N.
That says N. Let me go down so it's not a heading.
Our mission is to E. Capo, U, capo.
So I'm going to do caps lock, comma.
Capo.
Caps lock, period.
U, R, space, M.
Now I'm going to do caps lock K.
Mission.
And then I'm going to do caps lock L.
Is to empower.
Now I'm going to do caps lock I.
Our mission is to empower individuals who are blind or low vision. We do this by providing support, education, skills training, assistive technology.
That was the current line. So basically, as you go up, the row with the comma and the period is character. The row with the J, K, and L is word, as long as you're just using the caps lock key. And the row with U, I, and O is line. Now I'm going to do the Control and Shift, and I'm going to do comma.
We do this by providing support, education, skills training, assistive technology, and employment opportunities for people of all ages.
That's the current sentence. This is the current paragraph. Control Shift K.
Our mission is to empower individuals who are blind or low vision. We do this by providing.
So that's the paragraph. So I know I went through that pretty quickly, but those are the reading keys, and the only one I have left out is Narrator key R, caps lock R, and that's read continuously. And the Narrator key can either be the caps lock key, the insert key, or both. So before I get to some of the internet keys, does anybody have any question about what I've done so far in Narrator?
Let me look at the chat. I think there was one in the chat, so let me look at it.
I don't think that was about, that was about typing. We'll cover that in a minute.
Okay, what are the difference between the keyboard layout of the standard and the legacy? Does it affect accessibility?
I think that they made a lot of change. The legacy is the old Narrator keys when they first put out Windows, and then about a year later they went to a new keyboard layout. I believe that this keyboard layout is much more logical. So it just basically, if you go to the legacy, you have a whole new set of an old set of hotkeys, which most users thought was a little clunky. And so because of user suggestions, the standard layout, I think, is more like a regular screen reader. So that's the one I recommend.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Before Rick moves on? Christina?
I'm going to ask Christina, I forgot to have handy the number for the Microsoft accessibility answer line. Do you have it?
I know it.
Okay, good. Well, when we get to it, we'll give it to people.
Okay.
So I want to show you a little bit about the internet and Narrator. So I think I'm on the internet page.
Heading level.
So first, in order to go, I'm going to use the quick nav keys. So in order to go from link to link, it's K and Shift K.
Banner. Link. Content information. Link. Vision and mission. Value HT. Link. Our story. Link. Board of Trustees. Link. Staff.
So
Value HT.
now I'm going to do the B for buttons. Let's see if we have any buttons. I'm going to do Shift B because we're almost at the end of the page.
Sign up. Sign up for updates.
There's a button.
Banner. Search.
There's the search button. So that's buttons. And we've already done H for heading. I'm going to do H.
About US. Heading level 1.
That may be the only one. Let's see.
Transforming lives. One individual at a time. Heading level 2.
So that's the H key.
Vision. Heading level 3.
The Shift, all of these keys, just like in JAWS, when you use the Shift key, you go backwards.
Transforming lives.
Shift H.
One individual at a time. Heading level 2.
Shift H.
About US. Heading level 1.
So that's the H key. You've got the B for buttons. You have C for combo boxes. There's a whole list of them in the user guide, and they're very similar to what you would have in JAWS. Not all of them are the same, but many of them are. The X goes from checkbox to checkbox, and you'll find them in the user guide. And I think that, I want to show you the links list. The links list, I'm going to go back to the home page in VLANJ.org by doing the Control L or Alt D, either one.
App bar. Address and search bar. VLANJ period ORG. Address and search bar. Edit. VLANJ.org. Control plus L. Search landmark. Loading complete. HTTP.
So it told me that loading was complete. So I'm going to bring up the links list with narrator key F7. Does that sound familiar? 5, 6, 7.
Search hyperlinks window. Search list. house.gov//www.
I want to do a.
We
I
lost
want to
you.
get quickly to the mission link. So I'm going to search for MISSION. And
1.
I'm going to down arrow. Hope this works. I hear nothing.
Scoping.
Rick,
Combo.
the page disappeared.
No, it just went very light, Suzanne. It was a
Search
list.
list. No items
Okay.
found. Selected. No items found. 1.
So there was no items found for mission, which is interesting.
Vision Loss Alliance.
I did it before and it worked.
Search or enter web address. Search hyperlinks window. Search list. House.gov. V. Add N80N. 1.
Oh, it says
you-
1.
There you
So
go.
that's good. Now I'm going to down arrow.
Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey. Link. Selected. Vision and mission. Link.
There you go.
Selected.
There you go.
3.
So basically, if I know what link I'm searching for, I can type it in and then down arrow, and it should give me a list of links with that word in it. So that's pretty helpful. I'm going to escape,
Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey.
and then I'm going to do.
Search or enter web
By the
address.
way, when you find the search result in the list and you hit enter, it will take you to that link. Then you have to hit enter again to activate the link. The other thing about this links list.
Search hyperlinks window. Search list. House.gov//w. Scoping. Combo box. Hyperlinks. Collapsed.
So I'm going to hit enter.
Buttons. Selected.
If I want
Scoping.
to have a list
Buttons.
of the buttons,
Combo
I can
box.
do that.
Search list. Text. Selected.
I can have a
1.
list of the texts.
Tell. 973.
Out of
Text.
it.
Tell. Text. Selected. Search. Made possible by.
So
4.
let's try it one more time.
Scoping. Combo box. Text. Collapsed.
Oh, it collapsed on me. I hit enter.
Search list. Minimize. Restore. Close. But.
So that
Vision
combo
Loss
box isn't
Alliance of
working,
New.
but what it
Search
does-
or enter web at.
what it does is it gives me an opportunity to search, to have a list of links, combo boxes, buttons, all kinds of different things. And it usually works pretty well. I'll try it one more time.
Search hyperlinks window. Search list. House.gov/ Scoping. Combo box. Hyperlinks. Collapsed. Scoping. Hyperlinks. Selected.
Now I did alt down arrow that time, which is the Windows way of opening up a combo box. Now I'm going to down arrow.
Buttons. Selected. Text. Selected. Menus and toolbars. Selected. Form fields. Selected.
There's our
Form fields. 9 of 10. Landmarks. Selected.
So
Landmarks.
basically, if I select
10
one
of 10.
these, it will give me
Selected.
a list of landmarks instead of links.
Form fields.
Form fields
Selected.
instead of links.
Form. Menus and toolbars.
Menus
Selected.
instead of
Menus and text. Buttons. Hyperlinks. Headings. Selected.
Here's my
Headings.
list.
4 of 10. Selected.
Hit enter on this.
Search list. Tech Talks tackles grocery shopping, comma. Selected. 1.
There's a heading.
Newsletter. Selected.
There's a heading.
2. About US. Selected.
Well, I'm getting a headings list now.
3.
So
Yeah.
with
Okay.
Caps Lock F7, you can get a links list, a form fields list, a headings list, whichever you choose. So it's a pretty good links list or list of fields on the internet.
Vision lock.
So does anybody have any questions?
Search or enter web address.
Because it's almost it's about 8:30.
About 8:30. Any questions, anyone? That's a lot of information, Rick.
Well, I wanted to give people a pretty comprehensive understanding that Narrator is really a pretty substantial screen reader.
Yeah, and it's free.
It's really
So-
good.
The one thing that I forgot to get in my little list is the Microsoft Disability Answer Desk. But Christina is here to save the day.
It is. Can everybody hear me? I'm muted, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
1-800-936-5900.
All right.
And one of the things with the disability help desk with Microsoft is that they do, as does Apple does, is that they can remotely look at your screen and take control of your screen when they're helping you.
Then they're very patient. They'll stick with you until the job is done, I've noticed.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, they are. I use them today.
Oh,
They're
good.
good.
So I want to thank everybody for giving me the courtesy of listening. If you have any questions, you can email Linda or whoever it is that you email and get the question to me. And the powers that be at VLANJ, with your feedback, will decide whether you want me to come back and do the rest of the visuals.
If anybody has anything on, if they wanted to post or have any questions, you could also go to the Tech Talk website.
Facebook page, group, not a page.
Rick, I want to thank you so much for this
Thanks.
wonderful,
Yes,
informative
thank you.
presentation. And I just want to take a moment to recap, and that tonight that we learned about all and a lot of the accessibility features of Windows 10, magnifiers and narrator, and we hope that you've learned from the presentation. The resources will be shared on our Facebook page. That was also said. I want to thank you for joining Tech Talks, hosted by Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey. And please contact our organization with any questions you may have or to learn more about other programs. Next month, we do invite Rick Fox once again, and I believe it's September 23rd. Now, our topic was scheduled for the non-visual desktop access and fusion, Zoom Text Fusion by Freedom Scientific. But give us the feedback. You know, let us know what you would be interested in. If you want us to do more of the contrast and the visuals, or do you want us to go into the NVDA and Zoom Text Fusion by Freedom Scientific? I want to thank all of you for joining Tech Talks, and we look forward to spending time with you for our next presentation, September 23rd, 2020 at 7:00 p.m. So I'd like to say good night and be well.